Welcome back to Forza Horizon 5 for the first time in 20... That car just changed color. It is officially a new month, and with it, we can unlock what is arguably one of the coolest cars ever in FH5. This is Brad the Birdie's C10 Slayer. It is a 1965 Chevy C10 with 6 wheels. It's a part of Forza Horizon 5's Extreme Month. We've got an Extreme Forzathon shop, which is actually kind of decent, I guess. Backstage pass for this week, boys, it's the Gordon Murray cars versus an Aston Martin Valkyrie and a car from what was a cool car brand. Hey, are we done yet? Yes! A little bit of a slow speed run to get us started for 2025. Our C10 Slayer is officially ours. This is the most ridiculous car in this game. There's no other way to say it. It just is, okay? It is a 1,000 horsepower, 6-wheel pickup truck. What more do you want from a car? Like that, just that is ridiculous. My God. Boys, is that one of the best sounding cars in this game? Oh my God. Wait, did somebody in chat really have the audacity to say, is this an American car? Do you want me to show you how American this car is? This is Brad the Birdie. He's the guy who made this truck with his dad. I mean, he sells merch with like American flags with like the Birdie logo in it. That's one way of telling you. There is another way you can tell he's American, for the simple fact that he made a pressure washer that's an assault rifle. This is not a gun. This is a pressure washer. It's also $2,000, but I think that's money well spent to prove to you and all of your neighbors that you're the most American person on the block. This wouldn't be an AR-12 video without any fun facts about the Birdie C10 Slayer. Let me give you a little bit of a history lesson how this thing came to be. Long story short, Brad the Birdie and his dad are the craziest people on the planet. A couple of years ago, they built that F250, F350, where the side of the truck opened up to reveal toolboxes and like tools for you to go and use. They said that was really cool. We like our pickup truck. So they then made basically a Formula Drift spec Toyota Tacoma drift car. And then they said that was really cool, but what if we take it up another notch and build a 6-wheel C10? So they went out, bought a C10 from 1965. Like I said, because Brad the Birdie and his dad are crazy people, they decided before they started building it into a 6-wheeler, what if they jumped it? So they did. They built like a 1-foot ramp, jumped the thing in their parking lot, and then the entire thing broke. Every single part of the frame and the chassis shattered because of all of the rust. And then they kind of went, ah, man. Long story short, turned it into this thing. Don't even think for a second this is just a 6-wheel Chevy C10. Brad the Birdie called up the guys from Chevy and got a Chevy LSX B13 engine, I think it is. The name's not important. All you need to know, though, is it is a crate engine from Chevy that from the factory is designed purposely so you could go in and supercharge it or turbocharge it. Brad the Birdie & Co. went in and gave it the world's fattest supercharger, which gives you a little bit of a blind spot when you're driving, but it works! It works! And that's sick. That is so sick. In real life, it can also go up and down. It has 5 inches of ground clearance when it's raised all the way up. And you're going, Nick, air suspension is nothing new. You're right, which is why they didn't use air suspension. This thing has hydraulic suspension because air suspension wasn't good enough. When you've got air suspension, Brad the Birdie was always worried about this thing changing its driving characteristics because like the heat would change the air pressure ever so slightly, which would change the ride of your car. So he wanted to go and get hydraulic suspension so it's got a regular like shock absorber in there, but that is actuated by a hydraulic ram. And that's what gives it its massive 5 inches of ground clearance. Somebody in chat says, is it 4-wheel drive or 6-wheel drive? Technically, this is 4-wheel drive, but rear-wheel drive. The 4 back wheels are driven. So technically, it's 4-wheel drive, but it's also rear-wheel drive because the front wheels aren't powered. See what I mean? It is 4-wheel drive. For the first time ever in a Forza game, I do not care what the customization is for this car. It is already unbelievable that this car is in the game. It'd be cool if there's like a couple engine swap, but I don't expect much. Conversion. What? We have a 1,500 horsepower V8 supercharged and the twin turbo V8 with 1,007. Okay, the developers cook. For right now, though, I'm going to leave the stock engine in it. We'll come to those other 2 engines in a second. I kind of want to see what this stock engine can do since it's like that fancy Chevy engine. We can also go and make it all-wheel drive, which is pretty cool. We also have some tire upgrades that we can do. Semi-slicks is what the game says it's on bone stock. Then, wait. Oh, that's sick. That's so cool. So we're going from 305s to 335s. That's insanely cool. Love that. And in the front, I guess we'll go 295, sure. Oh yeah, it also only has 4 gears bone stock. I forgot to mention that earlier. And suspension, we have race suspension and rally suspension. Is it drift suspension from the factory? It's not as wild as some of the cars, but that's not bad. I guess it kind of has drift suspension. Last but not least, before we do take this out to the open... Oh, wait, chat, I just realized there was no engine upgrades for this car bone stock, which is really surprising. Considering we've got this fancy Chevy engine that's all built around customization, Smash. Interior customization. Chat, hello? With our new upgrades, I guess in all reality, we didn't actually do many upgrades. Basically, all we've got is just kind of wider tires for more grip and better brakes. That's kind of all we did with this thing. Let me tell you a little bit about this car, or a little bit more about this car, I should say. He recently sold this car at auction at Barrett-Jackson, actually. You will not believe the price that this car sold for. A fully custom-built Chevy C10 with a wild engine. The engine alone is probably worth like 50K in this thing. It sold for 300,000 bucks. Hear me out. 300K is a lot of money, but 300K for a true custom one-of-one with all of this like insane stuff? I don't know if it's just me, but that's kind of a bargain. I would rather pay 300K for this thing than all of the stupid money that is spent on the hypercar of the week. I don't know where all of the Bugatti guys and all of the SVJ guys and all of the Rimac and whatever rich people buy nowadays are. This thing is sick. I've heard in real life the only problem with this car is it's extremely loud. Like the combination of the engine and the gearbox just produce so much noise. You kind of need to drive this thing with earmuffs on because it will make you go deaf. But other than that, sick. Sick. Wait, chat says it does 119 decibels. Oh my God. If this thing's 119 decibels, you wouldn't even be allowed to drive this around the racetrack that I race at in real life. Brad DeBerti is a certified crazy person, and so am I. Which is why I'm gonna go and do the unthinkable and ruin Brad DeBerti's Chevy C10 by making it all-wheel drive, real all-wheel drive this time, and I'm gonna give it off-road tires. Yeah, this is a bad idea. Wait, just those 2 upgrades were A-class perfectly? I think maybe instead I keep the stock engine in and just chill at the top of A-class. It's not gonna be the fastest thing, but I think it's probably good. Nick, this car is broken. When you rewind, the tires deflate and you lose literally all grip. Pause. Hold. So if I'm driving around, right, I don't have the best grip because I'm on the off-road tires right now, but I can drive, right? Like totally fine. All good. I can go from side to side, pick up some nice G's, and then I rewind. Chat. Why is it so slippery? Look at the way it turns. It's like it's got so much front end grip now and the rear tires have none. And then fast travel back and see if it fixes it. Yo, look at it now. Look at it now. Back to normal. Back to normal. Oh my God. Good to know. We'll come back to that in a little bit. I will use that when I go drifting. Let's see. Away we go for our off-road build down the volcano. I'm going to try to use gravity. I wanted to use this race because I mean, I have 1,000 horsepower, but in all reality for FH5, that's not all that much. So I wanted to use gravity to help pick up some speed early on. The other thing I'm finding with this car is because of its 6 wheels, it just has a dummy amount of grip. And I think combined with the monster rear wing, it's honestly a really good race car. I'm genuinely thinking we should take this thing to the Horizon Mexico Festival. That was close. Honestly, with all of the horsepower this thing has too, I wouldn't really be surprised if people can do well with it. I guess actually the only thing kind of holding this car back from doing really, really well is it's a little bit on the heavy side. It's like 4,500 pounds or something like that. And compared to like the proper race stuff in FH5, that's a bit on the heavy bit. But real talk, you probably don't even need to all-wheel drive swap this. I think if you all-wheel drive swap it, you're just introducing too much understeer. I love this thing. Okay. That was a very good race to teach us what this thing can do. I'm down to try. Coco says the drag is absolutely tragic on this. I did notice it's a little bit slow in a straight line. I want to max upgrade this, 1,700 horsepower. I want to very quickly take it to the drag strip. I think it'll be fun to try. Chat's saying 8.9, 9 second, 8.8, 9.9, 10.9. Why don't you guys have high expectations for this? Some of you guys, I think, are in the wrong area. I think this is going to be in the 7. I understand it's a little heavy. I need to tune the gears. But I think with the right gears, I think this can get in the 7. Wait, what? I'm going to go all-wheel drive real quick. Now we're getting in the 7. This is going to be a 7-second quarter mile. A little bit of an early shift through 1, but that's fine. Not going to affect it. Maybe we're like an 8.1 now. That's fine. I've actually just decided I don't want to drag race this anymore. I'm not going to lie. That didn't go to plan. We go rear-wheel drive again and give me my rally tires back. I've got high expectations for my race trim version. Okay, rear-wheel drive with 1,700 horsepower. Might have been a bit on the ambitious side, especially with rally tires, but I'm able to lean on those tires in the corner. How is it so good in the corner? This is incredible. Okay, maybe incredible's not the right... Almost died. I will be honest, the C10 is not the all-out performance monster that I was kind of hoping that it would be. It is a downright monster regardless. The fact that I can lean on the tires that much in the corners is insane. What's really weird, though, is it's like usually right when you're driving a car, you go into the corner and you kind of slide because the tires are too narrow, and then you have to be very careful getting on the gas. This car doesn't have, like, the narrow tire problem. I guess in theory, it's got 600 millimeter tires because it's got 2 sets, right? It's got 600 mil tires. In the middle of the corner just means you can lean so hard on them. Although it has 1,700 horsepower, the drag on this car is awful. It's abysmal. The way we're accelerating coming out of the corners, and even our top speed for that matter, is just so slow for something with this much horsepower. It's like if a normal car has a drag coefficient of 5, this car has a drag coefficient of 50. I wonder if the developers actually had to nerf this car because otherwise it would have been too fast because of all of the grip it's got. It kind of does feel artificially nerfed. It doesn't feel like 1,700 horsepower. Coco says the physics engine just really doesn't treat 6-wheeled cars nicely. I guess we shouldn't be expecting it to have insane performance, though. At the end of the day, this is a true show car and a drift car. So I guess us kind of expecting it to do okay at drag racing and racing is probably the wrong thing to expect. It's just all of the performance figures on paper says that it should be good at racing, but it's just weird that it's not. If this thing isn't going to be the performance car that we were kind of hoping for, I'm just going to do the Brad to Birdie and turn it into a drift car. I'm going drift tires. We'll probably end up doing the rewind glitch to just kind of get more or less grip. It's a really weird car, okay? It's really weird. I'm not used to something like this. I'm gonna do 2 runs. I'm gonna do a run without the rewind glitch. Then we'll try it with the rewind glitch to see if I like it any more with that. I think that'll be a fun little experiment. All right, here we go. In, go. 6-wheel drift car, baby. I think we found what this Chevy C10 is good for. As it turns out, if Brad the Birdie builds a drift car in real life, it's a pretty good drift car in the game. Yeah, definitely a little grippy in some situation. A lot of like the 6-wheeled cars in this game have so much grip, they're genuinely impossible to spin the wheels on. I mean, it's not getting anywhere near to the amount of points that I would like, but it's not bad. 196K. Okay, that was run 1. So go and then spam rewind. Beautiful. It's wild that the backfires in this car are inside the bed and are illuminating the bed from the inside. Come on, C10. Less grip. Now we've done the rewind glitch. Oh, my days. Oh, my days. Oh, my days. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the scariest drift cars I have ever driven in this game. I don't understand why it feels like I have no confidence with the car. It's almost like it gets to a certain drift angle and just wants to chill there. Like, look. See what I mean? It just wants to sit there. Yo, that's crazy. Anyways, this will be a far better run than our previous one. 216,000 points. Honestly, it's a little bit disappointing that this car doesn't have like the performance in game to actually back up the performance numbers that it has in the game. Other than that, it is a seriously cool drift car, and I really, really like this thing. Do you think I can do a cheeky 360 with it? All right, it's a pretty cool car. Yeah, I'm a fan.